The story of Moses and the Israelites' exodus from Egypt is one of the most significant events in the Bible and is told in the book of Exodus, which covers chapters 1 through 18. The story begins with the Israelites, who were descendants of Jacob, living in Egypt and being subjected to slavery by the Egyptians. God sees the suffering of his people and chooses Moses, a Hebrew who was raised as an Egyptian prince, to lead them out of Egypt and into the Promised Land. God speaks to Moses through a burning bush and tells him to go to the Pharaoh and demand that he release the Israelites from slavery. Moses is initially hesitant and God provides him with signs and wonders to perform as evidence of his authority. Moses goes to the Pharaoh, accompanied by his brother Aaron, and performs these signs, but the Pharaoh refuses to let the Israelites go. As a result, God sends plagues upon Egypt to convince the Pharaoh to release the Israelites. The plagues include turning the Nile into blood, locusts, hail, and finally, the death of the firstborn in Egypt. The Pharaoh finally relents and the Israelites are able to leave Egypt, but he changes his mind and sends his army to pursue them. Moses then performs a miracle by parting the Red Sea, allowing the Israelites to escape while the Egyptian army is drowned. The Israelites then journey through the wilderness, led by God's pillar of fire and cloud, and receive the 10 Commandments at Mount Sinai. During their journey, they also receive the laws that God had given to Moses, including those related to the worship and the moral and ethical guidelines for living. The Israelites eventually reach the border of the Promised Land, but because of their disobedience and lack of faith, they are not allowed to enter it. Only their children and grandchildren, who were born in the wilderness, were able to enter the Promised Land under the leadership of Joshua. The story of Moses and the Exodus is significant because it demonstrates God's faithfulness and power in delivering his people from oppression and slavery, and also the importance of obedience and faith in following God's commandments.